Injuries have plagued basically every single team in the NFL up to this point in the season. I mean, yesterday we just watched Joe Burrow have a season-ending wrist injury. He has some type of, I think it's like a wrist sprain or something like that. He'll be done for the rest of the season. Mark Andrews done for the season. I mean, every single team is dealing with something a little serious. However, the Vikings really have been able to stay as clean as possible other than the Kirk Cousins injury and that Justin Jefferson hamstring injury, which we're expecting him to be back. Might not be this week. I'm expecting him back Monday Night Football against the Chicago Bears next week, and we'll get to that in just a minute. Let's talk about the injury report for the Vikings at the Denver Broncos for Sunday Night Primetime Football, Week 11. A lot of players for the Vikings on this injury report. Not many for the Denver Broncos, but before we get into it, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and become a member today by hitting that join button as well. So let's get right into it. The Vikings on Friday or today ruled out cornerback Akayleb Evans with a calf injury and quarterback Jaren Hall with a concussion. Jaren Hall still not able to clear that concussion protocol, which means I'd expect him to be back in the mix maybe next week against the Chicago Bears. Concussions, usually 2 weeks, could be more pending. Sometimes it's a week, pending on how serious it is as well. But Jaren Hall, we really don't miss him too much. We kind of do in the aspect of, we're short-staffed at quarterback, but we are getting Nick Mullins back, so that's good news. We still have Josh Dobbs as our starting quarterback, and Sean Mannion still on the team, so Jaren Hall can kind of take his time getting back on that active roster. Now, Evans did not participate this week due to a calf injury he sustained last week against New Orleans. This is a big hit to our secondary. This is a bummer. I thought Akayleb Evans has been playing fantastic for us this season on that outside, mainly guarding their ones or their two, depending on if they switch sides, which I don't think they do much of. If anything, I think it's Byron Murphy following the one around the field, but Akayleb Evans will not be playing this weekend against the Denver Broncos. Now, Jaren Hall obviously left Minnesota's Week 9 game at Atlanta late in that first quarter and has been working through concussion protocol, and he did not participate in practice today, so that's why he has been ruled out. Now, Minnesota sitting at 6-4. Listed linebacker Brian Asamoah II with an ankle injury, receiver Justin Jefferson hamstring, running back Alexander Madison with a concussion, and quarterback Nick Mullins with a back injury, and I guess guard Chris Reed with a foot injury as questionable. Now, for most of these players, I wouldn't expect them to play. Brian Asamoah is a big question mark. I think he's missed the last 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. He could end up seeing game time or at least some reps on special teams. But again, maybe we just wait to have him back on Monday Night Football. Justin Jefferson, hamstring injury. Would love to see him back on the field this weekend against the Denver Broncos just because it is primetime football and fans like us have been eagerly awaiting his return. However, from what I've been hearing around the rumblings around the building from the Minnesota Vikings staff and like the comments that they're making and stuff like that, I would just assume that they're going to keep Justin Jefferson out this game. Maybe a game time decision as they'll report, but it's really not a game time decision. It's just to see how he's doing, and then we'll keep him fresh or have him fresh and ready to rock and roll Monday Night Football against the Chicago Bears next week because, again, he doesn't want to re-aggravate that hamstring injury. He wants to be 100%, and they've basically just been ramping up his practice throughout this entire week, and they want to get him to have a full day of 100% full go type of practice before they feel comfortable with letting him play in a game this season or at least returning to the field. Now, Jefferson, Mullins, and Reed are in their 21-day observation windows after returning to practice, and Jefferson began his window November 8th, and Mullins opened his this Wednesday, so just a couple days ago. So, again, expect those two back within the next, 21 days. Jefferson even sooner than that, hopefully next week. Now, Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell said that we'll get together and kind of evaluate what that looks like for each one of those three. I do see us as having a good chance of having Nick Mullins available. He had a really good week for us. So Nick Mullins had his practice window opened. Sounds like he's going to be activated and ready to go as a backup for this week's matchup against the Broncos, which is good news, even though I think Joshua Dobbs has been playing fantastic football. Just in case, in the off chance he gets hurt, Nick Mullins can come in and kind of hopefully save the day, but we'll see how that transpires throughout the game on Sunday night. Now, quarterback Joshua Dobbs, tight end TJ Hawkinson, defensive lineman Dean Lowry, and receiver KJ Osborne did not receive status designations and are expected to be available for the game. Didn't even know Josh was dealing with a little bit of ankle injury. Definitely not serious because nobody heard about it. TJ Hawkinson, that rib injury has been kind of, he's definitely felt it the past couple weeks. You've seen him on the sidelines last week, kind of wincing in pain a little bit. Then I'm sure he got some, Toradol or whatever it is, the numbing shots to basically take the pain away. He's okay. KJ Osborne, again, took that massive hit over the middle. He was in concussion protocol. He passed it with flying colors. That's why he's going to be ready to rock and roll for this Sunday night primetime game. As for the Denver Broncos, really not many names on their list. Most of these players are going to play. There's only two that I would kind of question if they're going to be activated for this game, or are they going to be a game time decision, or what's the case. So let's take a gander at the Denver Broncos. First and foremost, PJ Locke, their safety, dealing with an ankle injury. He did not practice this week, or at least yesterday, I believe, or today. So I'd say his status for Sunday is up in the air. Ben Powers, their guard, dealing with a foot injury, also did not practice. Probably a game time decision. I'm not 100% sure on that front with this, because this was posted by the Vikings website, so they really didn't give a designation of whether they're going to be questionable or out. However, if you want that type of information, you're a Denver Broncos fan, hop over to the Broncos Syndicate, where host Gage Madrid will probably dive through the injury report with one of his videos. Also, Baron Browning, Marvin Mims Jr., Ronnie Perkins, all were full participants in practice, which means they should be ready to go this upcoming week. Now, Marvin Mims, special teams stud. He's fast. We have to find a way to contain him. He's going to be a player to watch this week, if I do say so myself. Only on the special teams, he'll get a couple passes here when he's on the field with the offense, but he's one of the guys that I keep an eye on for special teams. And Jerry Jeudy was a limited participant in practice. I think he's going to be a game time decision. Otherwise, they'll maybe say, yeah, he's ready to go on Saturday, or he's out. I think Jerry Jeudy plays this week. So not many names for the Denver Broncos, lots for the Minnesota Vikings, but hey, we do get Justin Jefferson back soon. Could be this weekend. I'm not saying it's not possible. Just from what I've been hearing and how it's looking, the landscape around it, I think we're going to save him for Monday Night Football against the Chicago Bears. Give him another week, a full week of 100% full go type of practice, and then bam, we're in there against the Chicago Bears, a division matchup right before the bye week. And then he has another bye. He has that bye week to get even more healthier. So there you have it, the Week 11 injury report. Vikings at the Denver Broncos. Should be a fantastic game. Sunday night primetime. I'm hoping the Vikings get a dub, but it's going to be a very, very tough one, because the Broncos have won, out of their last 3 games, 2 of those games they beat the Chiefs and the Bills. But the Bills, what are they really? I mean, they don't look that great. They look like a dumpster fire at this point. Whatever. It is what it is. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of your night, folks. And Skull Vikes.